Hello folks, I just want to show you a simple way to add data to a file. Now right now this is Kali Linux distribution, and I'm using the VNC framework, I guess you would say, instead of the SSH. The SSH is easier to deal with, but this one is interesting, and but there are actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna use this VNC. Instead, tap on the screen, click on disconnect, the menu, and then hold this for 2 seconds. Stop. Then hold it again. Delete. Then go back to the apps. Click on Kali and see what it says. You know, you have options now, and keep it on SSH. It's by default. It's just easier to look at. It's also better in some ways. Like you could have multiple sessions at once, and you could do the copy and paste. So that's why it's better just to use SSH server instead of the VNC or the other one, the XCFE. Unless you have a huge tablet and you have a keyboard and a mouse on your phone, I don't think it's gonna work well. Anyway, so far it seems that the SSH is perfect for the any kind of mobile phone because it's just easier to deal with, and probably that's what it was designed for, I think. But anyway, let me pause this for a second. I'm just gonna start punch in my password. Okay, as you can see, I'm in. Now, if I wanted to change this prompt, that's easy. Let me just see something. Wow. Okay, so I guess one of the fastest way to for me to put in an alias and change the prompt would be to just type it in directly into the alias. I mean, .bashrc file. That's like the fastest, easiest. One way to do this: type in cat and then 2 arrows to the right. Not 1, but 2. Otherwise, you're gonna basically erase the file if you don't use 2. So now, whatever I type in now inside here, to see the cursors on the left, whatever I type will be added to the file, unless I type Control Z, which is cancel the whole operation. But the benefits of this is that you could do quick adding, but the disadvantage is if I make a mistake and I press enter, I can go back. So as soon as you press enter, it goes into the file. So, and you can't go like back and forth. I'm not even sure if I could see, like, it's very limited to what you could do. Whereas obviously if you had an editor like VIM, you could do a lot more. Okay, so I just want to type alias G. Well, before that, I would like to change the prompt to a simpler prompt. Sorry. And press enter.
How about use your phone?
I was gonna write Asian. Alias. There's 2 main aliases. Well, 3. Or let me think. 4 main aliases I want to use, which is to clear the screen, to list the files, basic files in the directory, to install an app, and to uninstall an app. and also to auto clean. So that's 5 main aliases that I want to use. So let's start with installing an app. So sudo apt get sorry, install. That looks pretty good. Press enter. And by the way, you could also copy and paste in this. Copy this SSH. That's one of the advantages of using SSH. You could also open up another session, which I'm not gonna. I didn't name them. You could also kill the process by kill the process, which would shut the session down. To close a session, see if you have multiple sessions, you have to hold the screen for a few seconds, click on more, and then kill process. It'll then press enter. But anyway, so now K. I like to use K. Maybe I should use a different edit. Let me see something. No, not that. Maybe dot. You can even use a dot to clear the screen, by the way. So I can use alias dot, and then press enter. It'll clear the screen, which is faster to the return key. Which is you know what? Let's try that. And I also want to do an alias KL to clear the screen and list the files. So clear. You can use this end, or you can use the this one. It's the same thing. You can add your own other, like echo and sleep, to pause or to delay an action. Like, for example, I mean, I should put this into a function, but whatever. Alias KL equals clear and ls. Alias. I'll organize the aliases later. Equals. Pretty simple. I'm thinking, what else was I gonna? Well, I guess for now that's okay. This is the main aliases that I always use. Of course, it's better to have a file and then source wherever you want the file to be available. So if I want the aliases to be available with CSH, see right now this one is just this aliases or whatever information I put in here is just for the bash RC file, bash shell. But if I install, well, I'm going to be using mostly bash. I think bash is the best. Bedfish is pretty good. ZSH, I haven't gotten into ZSH that much. I don't know what's the big deal. I mean, sure, you could install like themes. That's always cool. But I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. So I guess ultimately bash is still kind of like number one, even though it's so simple and it's one of the oldest ones. I still like bash better than all the other ones. But anyway. So yeah, so then to get out of this, just Control D. And then if I type bash now, okay. That's weird. So now, if I wanted to look at the bash RC file, I don't know what happened, but oh, I see. Now, let's try it. Now I'm gonna try going back. You always gotta play with these things. Let me see. CD. By the way, half the time you spend is on any kind of Unix or Linux. It's gonna be problem solving. Same thing with programming. I'm just gonna plug this in. Hold on. I just want to add the aliases. Escape, colon, WQ, save and exit. Now, let me see something. I have no idea why this didn't work. Let me just go. Okay, I have another session open, and I just realized something. That the K command didn't work because I was freaking. I didn't set K as a freaking alias. Duh. No, but the L command is not working either. Oh, I see. Okay, so it did work. But I usually put K or L by themselves. But this time I didn't put K as an alias, and I didn't use L. I put KL. So if I type, in other words, look at my aliases. Look, I didn't. There's no K, and there's no L. There's KL, and there's LS. Well, I didn't. I added the first one. So hold on. Actually, let me just go back. The file that I created is good to. You know what? I'm gonna change this back to the normal K. Sorry about that. Just save it. And like I said before, the great thing about using this SSH is that you can have multiple sessions at once, which is good for multitasking, and you have to edit a file. So now if I type in bash, I gotta restart this. See? Now it works. I forgot what this one is. Oh, sudo python control A. I have no control E to go. You know that control A goes to the beginning of the command, control E goes to the end, and control U erases everything that's to the left of the cursor, not to the right. So if I go like if I go over here, it'll erase everything from the left, and it'll just be left with cat2 then .py, and everything else like sudo python and cat2 will be erased. So just want to let you know about that. Control E, enter. I don't know what this. Oh yeah. I have no idea how to use this though. All these tools, it doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter. Um, wait. It doesn't matter how many. Like you get the best. It's like you know, like you can have the best tool, like an actual tool, physical, like for carpentry. Say you have a $30 wrench or uh, you know screwdriver or whatever something, and you have really expensive gloves. That's not gonna make you a carpenter just because you have an expensive uh, tool and fancy gloves. I mean, it's really how much you know and your skill that's gonna make it worth it. I mean, make it useful or have meaning to it. Like in other words, you can have the most every single kind of tool for Linux, and yet that doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to use it. Say, for example, okay, I think I have Nmap in here, and I have no idea how to use Nmap at all. So, and I guess that's a good place to start if I want to learn anything about like networks and security or whatever. Just want to learn for educational purposes. But I'm so happy that I can actually practice on the phone. So now you have no excuse not to learn. I mean, there's always the excuse of not having time or energy, though. Okay. I don't know. I'm getting out of here. And of course, you press back, go to sessions, kill this, stop it. I mean, delete. In a way, I kind of want to install Debian because let me pause this. Yeah, I'm trying to install. Well, I'm going to install Debian now. By the way, there's a cool browser. There's lightweight. It's called minimal. Let me see something. Minimal. Wait. Min. This one. This one works pretty good. I don't know about this one, but what? Okay. This one looks pretty good. I'll try this one. It's good to try different browsers. I'm getting tired of the Chrome and the other one. I'll try this one. It's always good to try different apps. This could be useful. I'll try this out. I gotta be careful not to use too much memory. By the way, if you want to mirror your phone into your computer, the easiest way would be just to download Visor. And that's it. Of course, I don't know if I did this already, but go to System. Oh yeah, I did this already. Basically, you go to System, then you go to About Phone. Then you go down to build number and you just tap it like 5 or 6 times. It'll let you know when you have. Then this menu will show up in the other menu when you go back. I mean, wait, hold on. In the very beginning, you see the developer mode right here. I mean, USB debugging. Just click that. And then when you plug in your phone to your computer, you can use apps like Visor. When you do download this on the screen, you won't be able to do the full screen unless I think you buy the pro version. But you can make the window bigger on the computer screen by two ways. Well, you need to do two things. You need to drag it on the corner, the bottom right hand corner, or whatever corner, just to drag it to make it bigger. And then you go to settings and you click on medium settings, like the quality. What you don't want you can't click on high quality because you need the pro version for that. But the medium is okay, and then you would have to download this other app called Auto Rotate. If you want the screen on the computer to be bigger. Actually, in general, this one, the best one, in my opinion, the fastest one is this one, where you see the like up, down, left, right navigation key. This one. This one is the best, rotating, easiest, lightweight. That actually works right away without having to do anything. All you got to do is click on up, auto, and that's it. It'll start working within 2 seconds or less. And I could leave you a link to that, and then I'll leave a link to the Userland app. So I click on auto rotate app. Not all of them work great. And then you click on auto, and that's it. You press home. That's it. Now your phone will be like a Kindle, where you can, and then you could even like download Nova, Nova launcher. Nova launcher, which is nice. Nova, what's the difference between this one? What's the difference between this regular one and the Prime, I wonder? Of course, if you want to get this for free, see over here, it says $5. Just type in Nova Launcher Prime. By the way, this is the browser that I was talking about. It's really cool. And then see over here, if I wanted to go to Google, or if I wanted to go to Facebook, or if I wanted to go to YouTube. So I might want to. Anyway, well, if you want to go to Google first, Nova Launcher Prime. But now I'm multitasking because I'm actually also downloading Debian in the other one. Anyway, Nova Launcher Prime, and since it's for the phone, that we want APK, and half the time you will find it for free, which is amazing. Click on download. See the progress of this. Just manually install it. Once you click on, once it downloads, you'll see this download complete. It'll take you to the package manager. It'll take you to the I'm not sure if this is the proper one though, because I don't see an icon. If this is the case, you can always uninstall it by going to downloads. I don't think this is it, but let's just see. It doesn't look like it. You see? Anyway, let's just go back for a second. A lot of times, I should have known better. Let's try this one. Try this one. So far, this launcher or this browser is actually faster than the Chrome or the other ones. What is this? Oh, advertisement. Hold on, let's try this again. Alright, click on download. download again. And then click on this one again, download icon, and then you'll see this click on that. Okay, that's not right either. And by the way, I'm gonna have to delete all of these. Whenever you download something, obviously, and it's not what you think, obviously. Okay, so I'm gonna just try this last one. Maybe this one. You gotta just keep looking. I'm just being stubborn right now. We always want what we don't have, and then when we get it, we're like, okay, no big deal, and then we move on to the next thing. So alright, let's try this one. My last attempt for today.